Out here the ocean is a kind of boss. I live in Kodiak, in a rental on near island where the harbor lights paint the ceiling at night. I'm 38, divorced, deckhand on a 58-foot seiner called the Marina Ray. Salmon money pays the winter, if you come home with all your fingers and most of your luck. I used to joke that the only religion I had was a properly packed survival suit. Then came the night my zipper stuck. It was late August, rain knifing sideways, wind stacking willowaws down the channel. We'd been chasing a last push of pinks, cranky run, short sets. Skiff alongside, cork line hopping like bad news. I was on the stern roller with Gabe, my friend since high school, the kind of guy who says copy instead of okay, even at the bar. The skipper swung us to reset, the stern kicked weird, and the deck turned from floor to idea. My boots lost grip. 1 second diesel and glare, next second nothing but black water and the taste of pennies. Cold steel's nouns first. I remember the slam of it, the shock like a door in my chest, the sky a shredded tarp. My PFD fired. The canister hissed me back toward the surface. The boat slid away, a dark wall, our deck light drawing a crooked halo. Man overboard. Gabe's voice tore the wind. I tried to yank my survival suit out of its bag. Teeth on the tab, fingers stupid. Zipper jammed halfway up my ribs. I said words I haven't said since my kid was born. Time got big and small. I counted 1, 2, 3 because somewhere in a class a coastie told us the math of cold. First minute to get your breath, 10 to move your hands. I saw the skiff peel off, spotlight jittering across chop, and heard the buoy ring sing from the bow. The marina looped back. Too fast, too wide. Skipper correcting like a man trying not to write an obituary. Gabe launched the life ring and missed. Second throw kissed my shoulder. I hooked it and let the line boss me. When they hauled me to the transom, my legs forgot stairs existed. Gabe bear hugged me onto the step. I felt him shake. "You good?" he asked, our stupid ritual. I said, "Yeah," and lied for both of us. Back in the cabin, hissing heater, hands white as bait. We did the head count because that's the rule even when you think you know. 1 short. The skiff light kept panning the seam between dark and darker. The Coast Guard hello found him at first light. Gabe, face toward town, like he'd tried to look home. We did the things you do after. Statements at the base where coffee tastes like guilt, a safety stand down where everyone stares at the deck instead of the speaker, a potluck that called itself a celebration of life and felt like an apology with casseroles. His mom asked what his last words were. I said, "Copy," and we both laughed in a way that hurt. Nights got loud. I woke drowning in a dry bed, mouth salt, hands grabbing for a ring that wasn't there. At Safeway, the mist from the produce case hit my face and my knees went untrustworthy. I started carrying a CO2 cartridge in my pocket like a Saint Metal. My son, Levi, 9, asked why I smell like bilge and peppermint gum all the time. I told him the truth in kid-sized pieces. Dad fell in and got lucky, Uncle Gabe didn't, and luck is not a plan. He took his bath in a life jacket for a week and then forgot to be afraid. I didn't. Skipper called twice. Talked paperwork and moving forward. I said words about maintenance we both knew were smoke. After the funeral, I walked the docks. Every coil of line looked like a question. I stared at the stern step until the metal got personal. Crew from other boats slapped my shoulder, the way men do when they don't have thread for this. One guy said, "At least you had a PFD on," like the moral could cover both of us. I nodded because I didn't trust my mouth. The safety board wanted to know why the suit zipper stuck. I brought it in like evidence. Salt in the teeth, a nick near the slider, the kind of neglect you promise you're not that guy about until you are. The investigator ran a finger along it and said, "Happens." I wanted it to be criminal. Happens is a verdict that keeps you up. The report said wave angle, darkness, fatigue, words that spread blame out thin enough to pass around. I stood in Gabe's garage 2 days later, boxed his tackle, found the Sharpa label on a bin. Winter, be ready. I sat on the floor and let the heater click until the room remembered we were allowed to breathe. Winter came down hard, then bright. I took work onshore, net mending, haul-out sanding, the kind of jobs that make your lungs disapprove. I signed up for a cold water workshop at the base because sitting still felt like making the wrong bet. A petty officer built like a piling said the same thing twice until we said it back. Wear your PFD on deck, keep your suit zipper waxed, rehearse with your actual hands. He made us jump from the pier in January. Suits zipped, then half-zipped, then lost glove. The ocean kept doing what it does, take heat, test will. We formed a huddle like orange commas and swore to annoy each other about safety forever. I bought an AIS mob beacon with the money I would have used on new rods. Programmed it with the help of a kid at the marine store who looked like he'd never been cold. I stapled a laminated "Get Back" in list above my coffee maker. Call Mayday. Mark MOB. Throw everything that floats. Don't lose sight. Turn toward. Ladder down. I taped a copy in Levi's spiral notebook because he asked what lists are for. So your brain has a friend when it's busy, I said. At the Cannery Safety Fair, I grabbed the mic with hands that still shook and told a room full of deckhands I'd almost been the story. I held up the jammed zipper. This is not a mystery, I said. It's a chore. A few guys rolled eyes. Most watched the teeth on the metal, the way it sticks and looks so ordinary doing it. After, a woman from a tender crew pressed a stub of paraffin into my palm like communion. Every month, she said. Even when you swear you'll remember. I called Gabe's mom on the day the sun came back at a believable angle. We talked about stupid things. Seal pups on the city float, the way eagles fight like drunks, and then not stupid things. She asked if I was going out again. I said I didn't know. She said she hoped I would, and that she hoped I wouldn't, and we let both be true at the same time. That night Levi asked if I could teach his class about ocean math. I brought a bucket of ice water and a stopwatch and made fourth graders yell the alphabet with their hands in the cold. They learned fast why we practice. I went back in June because rent is a decision and the ocean is still my language. New boat, older skipper. A man who says drills like grace. First day aboard, he handed me a tub of zipper wax and pointed without sermon. We practiced ladder throws until muscle took the wheel. We clipped beacons on and checked them twice. When we set the first net, my chest did that tight drum, and then the corks rode right and the block sang and somewhere inside me a stuck thing moved. 2 weeks in, the kid on bow slipped. Not cinematic, just a heel on slime, a foot wrong. He pinwheeled, swore, almost went. My hand found his harness without asking me. Later he said, "Thanks, man." In that half-ashamed way 20-year-olds do when mortality taps their shoulder. I nodded and gave him the paraffin and told him to make a habit without making a story. In late July, fog turned the bay into a room with no doors. We were hauling slow when the radio coughed a mayday. Mob off a gillnetter near Long Island. Our plotter lit an AIS mob target, blinking like the only star left. We were close enough to matter. Skipper swung. We all shut up. The guy was in the water 4 minutes when we slid down on him. Red hood. Right where the beep said. Ladder down, ring out, words like rails. He came aboard gasping and grinning. Teeth purple. Calling us angels and liars. The beacon kept chirping on deck like a smoke alarm that refused to believe in rescue. That night I stood on the stern and let the exhaust drift past and didn't flinch. I told Gabe out loud what we'd done. I told him about the kid and the wax and Levi winning his science fair with a project called Cold Water Minutes. I told him the zipper slide's easy now. The harbor lights found the cabin roof like always. Nothing in town had changed except me. Here's my list, taped inside the galley cabinet and in my wallet and on the wall above the coffee. Wear the thing. Wax the thing. Drill until bored. Buy the beacon. Throw first, steer second. Say names. Call Mayday even if your voice shakes. Keep counting. I am a man in Kodiak who fell in and kept a promise later. When we clear the breakwater and the swell stands up, I touch the rail with 2 fingers. Not a prayer exactly. More like checking that the world and I still agree on the word home.